Welcome back to Band For Abit. I'm Granger.
I'm Pete.
And this week we are continuing with our mini-series on starting a band. Last week we covered why you should start a band. We gave 4 pretty compelling reasons as to why. If you've not seen that video, we will leave the link in the description below to last week's video, or you can just click on the channel and find it that way. But this week last week we spoke about why you should start a band. This week we're going to talk about how you can start a band, because some people would be completely boggled and think, how the hell do I do that, guys? Like, I don't know how to start a band. Don't worry, Band For Abit is here to...
We got your back.
Got your back. We got your back. So we've got 4 reasons, 4 ways on how you can start a band.
Well, 4 steps, kind of.
Steps is a good way of doing it. God, you're really good at this.
Who'd have thought?
I'm like, 4 how, why?
Okay, right. Step 1.
Step 1.
Work out what the hell you want to play. As in, instrument-wise, do you want to sing? Do you want to play guitar? Do you want to play the oboe? Do you want to play the harp? Do you want to play the flute? Do you want to play the didgeridoo? And then learn it to a standard. You don't have to learn it. You don't have to be proficient. Jesus, when me and you started, like, we physically couldn't play.
I would... the closest thing I could say that my voice would probably be... Oh, let me think now. I could imagine it would be the sound of rain on a hot tin roof with cats dancing underneath. There's some grass. There's
fire.
some squirrels. There's some squirrels on fire. There's somebody looking from the window. They're staring down.
Never mind. Right.
They're looking sad.
Granger's been taking an improv class to the show.
It was bad. We didn't know how to play. You were meant to be on keyboard.
I used to drop D my guitar because I couldn't play a power chord, so I could just bar the power chord.
Oh yeah, we drop D'd everything, didn't we?
Yeah, right. So we weren't good. We could tune a guitar, and that was about it.
I still struggle now. Like,
okay, so there's step 1.
Learn.
But you don't have to be amazing.
No, don't feel like you have to learn it to be. In fact, you just have to learn it to the absolute. To start, like we did, it was the basics. You know, the basics.
Quite literally, I think that's why we kept on playing as well, because we kept each other going.
Yeah, like we yeah. Don't feel like you've got to be like amazing. Or if you are learning to sing, again, I didn't know how to sing. I just made noise. Sing along to your favorite songs. You know, sing along to your favorite songs. You might get better.
You hopefully will get better.
You will. Well, I started with no lessons or anything, and you do just get better. Okay, but yeah, you can start. It can be, you know. Anyway, so there you go. So first of all, learn what you want to do, at least to a point. Step 2. Find band members.
Yep. So there's multiple ways of doing this. The biggest one for me has always been joinmyband.com, which is like a massive advertising. People who are in bands looking for musicians are on there. People who, like, there's hundreds of guitarists on there going, I play blah, I want to join a band. Any other ways you can think of? Oh, there's Facebook groups that are similar kind of thing to Join My Band.
I think Join My Band is awesome for it because you can literally pinpoint what you want. Like, you can put like guitarists, you can put genres, you can put where you are, you can put, you know, how old you want, age range. For example, if you're a young, you know, 16-year-old band, the 16-year-old wanted to start a kind of band that, you know, is young, energetic pop punk, let's say, you might not.
You don't want a 65-year-old jazz musician.
Yeah, you don't want a 65-year-old blues musician, do you? You know, so yeah, you can pinpoint that. Your own social circles, just ask around. Sometimes, like, people, my friend's brother plays guitar actually, and he's just left his band, so. You'll be surprised how often actually that happens.
Yeah, it does. Like, there's more musicians than you think there is. And they can just be round the corner.
They literally can be next door.
if you're lucky enough to still be in school, you know, that's how we started. That's how a lot of the bands that we know. That's how most people we know got started on the
DJ.
the merry-go-round that is band life.
Don't
There's
be
another one.
afraid to. Go on.
Sorry. Don't be afraid to what?
I was
I'm
going to say,
intrigued.
don't be afraid to ask somebody who's already in a band if they want to join two bands, particularly drummers. Okay, like every drummer I've known has been in multiple bands. I don't know, it's a drummer thing.
And bass players.
Yeah, and sometimes people like different projects. Like somebody could be a singer and play guitar in one band, but only wants to be a guitarist in another band. Like,
Yeah.
like they'd be like the front of that band, but then they just do like a side project playing guitar for another band that's got a different singer, and he does backing or she does backing. So there's that as well. What were you going to say?
I was going to say there's one that I've never actually done, but I could see it working. Is go to open mic nights and meet musicians, and go to local gigs and talk to bands, make yourself known. You know, say, hey, I play as well. Just don't be like, hi, can I join your band? Like, just talk to people, and it'll, or you know, what you do will come out in the conversation, and then they might think of you when they're looking for another member, or whether they're starting a new project, or you could even just ask them outright. You say, hey, look, I'm starting to start this new project. How do you fancy it? Because you've seen what they can do. You've seen them on stage already, so you know, like, what kind of person you're looking at.
Yeah, the benefit of that is you've actually seen them play.
Yeah.
That one does work. It's probably the least for me personally. I think it may have worked with. Did we get somebody from? Like that can work. I think like I've had a drummer who I saw on stage playing at a gig, and then I added them on Facebook afterwards, and then I found that they were wanted to be in different bands, and then they did a short stint in my band for a bit.
Actually, it's how I joined. It's how I joined one of my old bands. Was I knew them through band circles, and
yeah,
they were looking to start a new venture, and they thought of me and asked me to join.
There you go.
So you know, without chatting to other bands and things like that, you never know you never know.
Yeah.
There could be an opportunity just round the corner.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, and of course, obviously, social media as well. Feel free to speak to people, put adverts out on Facebook or Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
You do little posters, and I'm sure you'll get some responses.
I have had some nightmares on Join My Band. I went to one. I found myself this time a couple of years ago, probably about 3 years ago now. Actually, my daughter was turning 2. We just were having my son. And I wanted to start a band again. I'd been out of the circle for years. I didn't play for about 5 years, I think. And we'd kind of done our comeback for a little bit and gone back away again, all to do our separate things. And so I got on Join My Band, and I went to go jam with one band, and it was interesting, to say the least.
That means it was shit.
Well, let's put it this way. They all thought they were professional musicians. There was me and another guy who, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a professional musician, but I know how to hold myself professionally. I own a tuner pedal, for starters. It was interesting. Very interesting. We went to a gig. We went to a rehearsal room at Pirate Studios at 10 in the morning, and the drummer was hammered by 11.
Seriously.
Yeah, and I'd never met this guy before in my life.
Dude,
it was just
was he drinking special brew?
No, it was
still really, the white lightning.
It was like, anyway, it don't matter.
I feel like
it was just an appalling
rehearsal. First rehearsal as well. Like your audition for that.
Needless to say, almost straight away after that, I texted them all and said, "Yeah, this isn't for me."
Yeah, and that's fine if you might get that. That's going to happen.
So don't be afraid. If you do go to a rehearsal or whatever, don't be afraid to walk away. If you really don't get that vibe, there will be more opportunities.
Likewise, if you get somebody down to have a practice with you and then you feel like it's not working out, just tell them like, yeah, it's not working out, man, but best of luck, or see you later.
It's best to be honest than to be miserable.
Yeah, don't just stick with them like, oh, it'll be fine, you'll get better. I don't want to play metal. I wanted to play indie. Right. Okay. Number
Probably
3.
skipped it. We've probably skipped a step here. This should have been step 2.
We're on step 2. Oh yeah. Yeah, this probably should have been step 2, but it's still a good step. It's still a good
should have been
step.
step 2.
Oh, we can swap them around, I guess. Step 3. Decide what kind of band or style you want to be.
Yeah, don't make a metal band if you want to play pop punk.
It's pretty self-explanatory, to be fair. It's a pretty quick one. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. Just what I said. Don't put an advert out for any musician to come and practice, and then like a metal guitarist contacts you, but you want to play shoegazing. It's not going to work. Saying that, don't be afraid to cross divulge. So like, I know musicians, and we've had bands on who are like, oh, actually, I listen to this kind of music, but I love playing this kind of music. So don't be afraid to have people who are like into different things.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good thing to have multiple genres under your belt.
Diversity, yeah, but there's a line to it, because some things just won't work. You can't have a blues guitarist, like you say, who like just plays pentatonics, and he's trying to join I don't know, some kind of
progressive metal band.
Techno, Enter Shikari. Type thing. Yeah. So that's a pretty
work out what you want to do. Do you want to play covers? Do you want to? Oh, that's another thing as well. On your first meeting with some new musicians, if it is for an originals band, what I would say is work out a couple of covers that you all have in common that you want to learn or that you already know. So then you kind of, when you get there, you're not just going, well, I've got this riff, let's go, and expecting these people who've never played together before and haven't got a feel for it to just step in and go for it.
Yeah, because it can take time to build.
I mean, that might work. That might work, but I've found in the past the best way to do it is to just come up with like a sort of a mutual couple of covers, smash through them, and then you've kind of got an idea of, right, yeah, this drummer plays like this bass player plays like this, that kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And as well,
engage their skill as well.
Yeah, it's a good way to gauge their skill and their sort of how into it they are. Because if they're half-ass learning the cover, then what else are they going to half-ass?
Yeah, well, that's a big thing. With World Held Hostage, my current band, our current singer Paul, and in fact our ex-guitarist Richard, and our new guitarist Livia, they all like went hell for leather and wanted to join, and we'd send them stuff and like learn this, and then we'd be doing it in the rehearsal next week. They wouldn't be messing around. Paul was making lyrics left, right, and centre when we asked him to, and it just shows willing. It just shows willing. It means a lot, If you got somebody rocking up who's like, I didn't really have time to learn it. Depending on the reason, if it's like rehearsal, can you come tomorrow? Then fair enough. But if they've had like 3 weeks and they're like, I've not had a chance, and I don't know, my dog's got ill and my cat got run over.
Yeah,
and
it just gives you an idea of the kind of person that you're dealing with, because you do get some lunatics.
Yeah, you do. So that's that, right? And our final reason, our final step on how to start a band. Is find a place to practice and rehearse. Not
it's
necessarily
easier than you think.
It is. Sometimes it can be at somebody's house if you're playing acoustics. Sometimes you just play acoustic guitars, practice that way, or find a local rehearsal studio. Pirate Studios. I'm not endorsing them. I'm not endorsing. I'm not sponsored. We're not sponsored. Pirate, yeah, sponsored. We practice there because you don't need anybody to let you in and out. It's all coded, so you just book your slot.
A slot online.
Yeah. You get a code to the door, code to your particular room. A lot of the rooms have equipment in, which is, especially if you're starting out, you don't want to be your drum kit around.
All the rooms I've ever played in Pirate, you can walk in with a guitar and a cable and you can rehearse.
Yeah, you can get different levels of rooms. So some with bigger amps and more amps and stuff. And
yeah,
like you can get a room with 2 amps and a room with 3 amps.
You don't even need your own gear, really.
No, just take your guitars and your leads and stuff.
Nowadays,
and it tells you what's in the room.
I think this is going to be a thing forevermore now. Is you'll probably have to take your own microphone. I think that's going to be a thing forever.
Yeah, because of
COVID. I think that is something that's going to change forever now.
It's got a mixing desk. It's got a PA system. I'm not going to touch on that too much in this episode, but it literally is a case of plugging in. You can find YouTube videos on how to just plug the microphone in.
There are hundreds of old mills that have rehearsal studios in there, and you just like you'll find them on the the board outside where they've got all the business listed that are in the mills. Just Google local rehearsal studio.
Oh yeah.
There's so many places. There's like I've been to ones on industrial estates where it doesn't matter how much noise you make. Old mills. I've been to one that was like under a pub. We used to have a permanent space.
Yeah. In a basement of a pub.
Yeah, there's storage lockups. I used to rehearse in the storage lockup. There's hundreds. It's so easy to find somewhere to rehearse.
Yeah, it is. It is. Getting a permanent space is the best option, but sometimes not the most cost effective. And when you're starting out, just go with the cost effective. Don't like go signing up like to a 6-month lease to a place, even though it's dead cheap, whatever, because you never know what's going to happen. The band might fall apart in a week or whatever, and then you got like this lease hanging over your head. Just start like weekly, weekly as cheap as you can. But then again, try and also, if especially if you're starting out, if you can't be looking your amps around and you're struggling to get there, places that have gear there. Most places will have at least a drum kit and guitar cabs normally.
Yeah. So you can at least take it ahead.
Yeah. Exactly. And just find somewhere local and get it done. Get booked in.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Stop saying I'm going to do it tomorrow and just get it done.
Get it done. This is like motivational speaking now. Band 101. Awesome. And that pretty much covers it. That is your 4 steps on how to start a brand new swanky band.
I just want to throw an extra little thing in there as well. Do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
Don't start a band to try and make money. You do it because you love it.
I started because I just wanted friends. I wanted a girlfriend.
Yeah, fine. They're good reasons. You do it because you don't do it for money. You're never going to be rich doing this unless you're like that 1%. You might be able to make a living if you're lucky in the future, but
yeah. Oh, you might. Don't aim for the stars. Aim for the stars, but yeah, do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because you want to be rich and famous.
No.
Do it because you love it, and then if you become rich and famous off it,
then wonderful.
Bonus. Cool. I think that's all for this week.
That is all for this week. We shall see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, if you have not already, please consider subscribing. Sorry to interrupt, and press the like button. And please feel free to comment below, and we'd love to answer any comments. Thank you.
Oh my god!
Do it again now. Do it again.
I tell you what, I'm gonna get my daughter on one of these, and she can come on and she can do the "Can we eat this week, please, Daddy?"
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Please do, please.
Yeah. Play the sub story.
We'll have millions.
Anyway, that's all we've got time for this week.
That's it.
We shall see you next week.
Ta-ra.
Bye.